artists who have the passion and the talent to create the works of art, and then all the people in between, and that's everybody, the community who passes by it every day after the artist has gone away and after the technological advisors have gone away. You still have people living with their work of art, and they gotta love it or it's not gonna last. And then the other people in the middle are the ones who organize the kind of painting on walls, and it can be cities, it can be public art programs, it can be community-based programs who say, that wall's ugly and we want to beautify it. So everybody then has an opinion, one about how to make it, and two about how to save it, or whether or not to save it. And then I've been very lucky to be called in the cases where people say, we don't know what to do. And we created an organization in Washington called Rescue Public Murals, where we, with the help of so many people, helped to get this going. The whole Getty Conservation Institute, the Getty organization, was very supportive of it when we started out. And we took on this question of what to do when valued paintings outdoors change. As I got more and more into the question of public art and public murals, and especially community murals, those that generate themselves spontaneously, when no one is necessarily paid to paint the wall, but because of the passions and the needs of the community to express themselves. And this was mostly Chicano communities in California and African American communities in Chicago, Latino communities in Miami, who just wanted to use the wall to make the biggest possible statement. They said, we are here and we're important and this is our community. And so instead of making a little painting to put in a corner of a museum as a precious object, they wanted to make the biggest possible statement. And I came to really appreciate the passion behind those actions, and I was in a position to help. So that was the direction my life took, and now many years later, and since I've left America and moved to Europe, and a network has grown of many people like me, not only conservators who have the capacity to figure out what happens to a layer of acrylic paint 20 years later, 30 years later, when it's only supposed to last 15 years. And so we then have to work with all of the stakeholders, all the people who are concerned with the value of the painting. And we're not talking about financial value, it's the value, the emotional value, the sentimental value to the community, the historic value, the social value of these large statements on public walls, and to understand why they're important and how much change is acceptable. And that's the really tricky part, because everybody has a different opinion about what to do about a 30-year-old mural. Because it's sexy to paint a new mural, but it's not so sexy to figure out how to restore an old mural. So that's what my life has become, and I'm very happy to be doing it. Acknowledge that the social media revolution is the biggest thing that's happened to the world since the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century. And we've all been taken by surprise by how quickly it's changed. And we have the opportunity to, because it feels a little out of control, and I think this sort of gives us all a chance to as a community, sort of pull it back in and try to own it ourselves through various platforms, because it does feel like our information is out of control and our privacy is out of control. And as benevolent as various social media seem at the outset, because we get to communicate with our friends far away, and we get to gather information from remote parts of the world and from people we would never speak to in person. It's still a little frightening, and I think it's a very healthy thing to try to bring it back in and take some control of the information that's out there and try to own it ourselves. And as creative people, I think it's especially important that we not let go of the rights of the individual creations that come from our minds and our hearts, and we don't release them to greater powers.